Hello people, quick announcement before the video starts. I have made some new merch designs, you should go check them out. Also, if you didn't know, I have a Patreon where you can do further supportings of this channel while getting some extra perks as well. And now, movie time. Welcome to Surf's Up. That's all about surfing penguins. Actually, there's a few more animals in there, and one surfing chicken that's pretty chill, but mostly penguins. And it's shot like The Office documentary style, following the story of this one dude, Cody Maverick, who wants to make it big in surfing by partaking in this big surf competition for discovering upcoming talent. And he tells a story of how important surfing is to him, how it started, and how this really famous surfer called Big Z once came over to Shiverpool in Antarctica, where he lives because he was on tour spreading awareness for surfing. I'm making it sound like he's spreading awareness for fucking Lyme disease or cancer. It's not. He's just on a surfing tour or whatever, okay? Big Z gave him this necklace and inspired him to start surfing. He makes it sound like he also inspired a bunch of others to do that, but really it's only him. Everybody else makes fun of him all the time for surfing, telling him he should be more responsible, sort fish, hatch eggs, blah blah blah. But he's like, let me be different, guys. God, why doesn't anybody understand me? Now this surf competition he dreams to take part of is called the Big Z Memorial Surf Off. It takes place on Pingu Island that has the best waves where you can just drop in, just smack the lip. Whoop-ah! Drop down, stand up, and is organized by this dickhead beaver animal, Simon Cowell type character shit. He treats everybody around him like crap, takes all the credit and so on. Then we got this big buff retarded penguin who won the past 9 times. He's an asshole bully and 9 happens to be the number of IQ he has. To find his talent to take part in the competition, Reggie, the beaver guy, sends out Mike. Wait a minute, why was his crotch blurred coming out of the water but isn't blurred now? He's still fucking naked. Whatever. He sends out his bird assistant Mike to go talent scout far and wide to every corner of the globe that has anything that resembles a body of water to do his job for him, and after a while he gets to Shiverpool where Cody is the only surfer there, so he asks to see some of his moves, and Cody is super excited to do that. However, there is one small problemo, which is that there are no waves today at all. So Mike decides this ain't it and leaves with the rest of the talent on the whale that he came on, but Cody follows them saying that they're not leaving without him, so the whale steps on it or fins on it, and Cody tries to hang onto the fin but gets launched away. The determined little flightless sweetheart does not give up though and swims back and tries to get onto the whale in the dumbest way possible by jumping onto a sheer vertical part of it. Also, when the whale threw the fin back to give it some welly and Cody was hanging on, couldn't he have just let go and gone onto the whale that way? And another thing, if that whale can create wake or fake waves on its own by just moving like that, couldn't have Mike told it to make some waves for Cody, do him a solid, you know, so he can show him his steel instead of just being a dick like that? He is pissed and overworked though, so whatever. Cody gets helped on by Chicken Joe, a solid dude with a natural high, enviable by the most zoinked out of stoners. He got recruited because Mike lost a bet apparently, and they both bond over the fact that they are the only ones in their place or city, town, whatever, that surf, and both of them having lost their fathers. Mike lets Cody take part in the competition because that shit he just did was entertaining, and after all, it is a show. Then sometime later, they get to Pingu Island. Once they arrive, they take in all the sights, do all the activities, and I get that there's a lot of human stuff. Animals are doing bullshit in this movie. It's that type of movie, you know, they have SPEN, fucking tanning penguins. I'm fine with all that shit, but what I'm not fine with is the response Cody gives Joe when he tells him to try squidito on his taquito.
I mean, it's not bad. It kind of tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
How do you know what chicken tastes like when the movie already established that the only thing you eat in Antarctica is fucking fish? At least be consistent with your bullshit movie. Anyway, Cody then sees a hot lifeguard at work and gets an instant boner, crushes on her hard, then he applies some awkward riz on her with the help of Joe, then goes to admire Big Z's shrine, who died in a competition years ago while facing Tank because he wiped out in the boneyards, a dangerous part of the beach with lots of shallow, sharp rocks. Then sees Tank himself throwing rocks at it, and Cody tries to stop him doing that, being the Big D super fanboy he is. So Tank makes fun of him and pushes away Joe, but then Reginald, ever the opportunist, steps in to profit off of their squabble and televise this feud in a little competition where whoever rides the biggest wave wins. So they both go out into the water to surf the biggest wave they can find, but Cody is only used to itty bitty tinsy weensy Antarctica waves and not these mega waves of Pingu Island. So as soon as he tries to ride one, he eats shit and wipes out, gets repeatedly pummeled by wave after wave, till he hits the reef and passes out. Lonnie, the lifeguard, has to go in and save him. She does that and he coughs up some water on the beach but then passes out again. She doesn't know why, so that night she carries him into the jungle to seek some help from an old friend and social recluse, Geek, who reluctantly agrees to help, finds a fire urchin spike in Cody's foot, takes it out, and drinks some rainwater to help him pee on the wound and neutralize the venom. Pretty sure peeing on that shit to heal it is just a myth, but also, why did you spend all that time looking for something to collect the rainwater in and drink it, you fat dickhead? You either have some piss in you, or you don't. It's not like the water you drink immediately goes into your bladder and it gets converted into pee. Or maybe it does, I don't know anything about the biology of penguins. Anyway, Lonnie goes back to the beach, leaves Cody with Geek to rest up and get better, which happens next morning when he wakes up all good. So Geek walks him out to the path that will lead him back to the beach. All the while, Cody cries about the Big Z necklace he just lost and how important it is to him because Big Z was such a massive inspiration to him and so on, saying lots of nice shit about him. Geek shows him the path and leaves, but Cody is too embarrassed to show his face again on the beach, so he doesn't go anywhere, which is good for Geek because when he goes back to his place, he finds the necklace and runs back to give it to Cody, only to find him sulking on a log. So to cheer him up a bit, I guess, he tells him that they can make a board out of the log he's sitting on because it's the best type of wood to make a board out of. By the way, this little piece of loose wood Geek picked up wasn't there in the previous shop. Anyway, they start dragging the log over to Geek's tree, and Cody quickly finds out why rolling it is a bad idea because it can simply roll away out of control, and they have lots of trouble stopping stopping it, and eventually it slides down onto a bench that Geek doesn't want to go down, but Cody does and accidentally takes Geek down with him. Down there they find a perfect little cove with an abandoned board shack by the end of it that also was not visible in the previous wide shot. Even with the foliage, you can still tell that there is anything there, not even a tree coming out of the water. Also, Cody takes a look around and recognizes all the boards as Big Z's boards that he used in competitions, and I know there's a film crew and everything, but I still find it very hard to believe that they had a TV in Antarctica. I saw their house. Everything is made of ice. You're gonna tell me there's a fucking TV in there running on electricity? Whatever. Kids movie, who cares? Geek walks up to this other old hut, wiping away the sign on it and grabbing things like he owns them, and it finally clicks in Cody's brain that that Geek is Big Z, and loses his fucking mind fangirling over him, asking him how he's alive, what happened, etc, when all homie wants to do is to be left alone. But now Cody has hope that Z can teach him how to surf properly, and maybe he can win the competition that's coming up in a few days. Then we get a bunch of interview clips of the folk on the island and their definition of winning. We find out that Tank is a trophy sexual. New sexuality just dropped, boys. And back at Z's beach, even the film crew want to know the tea, but he still don't want to spill it. Then he sees Cody trying to surf using one of his boards, and he's like, yo, leave my shit alone, dick. Also, you're surfing wrong. Tries to give him a few tips from where he's standing, but nothing helps because he has to be in the water with him, and Cody is simply turbo ass. His surfing skills are unrefined AIDS, but Z is so good he can predict exactly where Cody's gonna wipe out on the beach with an X, telling him that if he wants to learn how to surf properly, he has to make his own board first. Then after a few more interview clips of people talking about how important their board is to them, Cody and Z start carving one for him out of that log. They split it in half and Z draws an outline for him to carve out. They have this fun little back and forth where Cody sucks at doing it because he's not carving, he's just hacking at it, and Z showing how to do it correctly without giving him a chance to try it out himself. Like, give me that. Now watch closely, dumbass. Long, smooth strokes, okay? Long, smooth strokes. Long. Eventually, Cody's finally able to get him to fuck off so he can work on it himself, and after a while it's done, he's like, voila, masterpiece. It is done. Bro, it's fucking trash. No, it's not. Alright, go write it then. Maybe I will. And as soon as he does that, it snaps in half. Even the film crew thought it was shit.
Didn't look a little rough. It's a work in progress, bro.
No such thing, cocksucker. Especially in objects you have to make by carving it out of another substance. Eventually you hit a point of no return where you can't add anything back on because it's only subtraction and it becomes a work in unprogress, dipshit. I don't know why I'm overanalyzing a funny line of dialogue in a kid's movie. Whatever. Bro gets pissed and leaves because he just wants him to have fun and he really wants to stop wasting time, train for the competition and get serious and stuff. And while storming off into the jungle, he runs into Lonnie on her way to Geek and immediately tells her that Geek is Big Z. Fucking blabbermouth. She tells him she always knew, then he tells her that he got him down to the beach, which gets her super excited and happy because she's been trying to do that for 10 years. And she's like, you want to do something fun? And he's like, hell yeah. So they go over to these big steamy holes, jump in and have some slip and slide fun like an Ice Age, but the hot version this time passed some lava instead of ice. And at the end of the ride, they both end up in some glowworm feces. So when they get out, they have a shower together. Bro skipped so many steps and went straight to showering with her. Damn, unmatched riz. Then she tells him that Z must really like him if he went down to the beach with him after one day that fast. So he's like, yeah, but I was kind of mean to him. So she's like, then go not be mean to him, bitch. That's my uncle. And maybe later we can do another type of long, smooth strokes together. This is a kid's movie. She did not say that last bit, but her eyes definitely did. Look at that. Those are the fuck me eyes.
I want you to fuck me, Jerry!
He goes back to Z's beach while Z's asleep and gets to work making his board out of the other half of the log all night long till he finishes it in the morning, falls asleep on it. Z wakes up and sees him lying on this perfect board and wakes him up and tries to test out its strength and turns out it's pretty good. Then they spend that whole day doing fucking nothing. So not only did this moron make the most perfect board I've ever seen on his second try, but they spent the rest of that day doing fuck all. Maybe he was sanding it, waxing it, doing final touches, whatever, I don't know. Z philosophizes about being in the tube. Then we see an overworked, underpaid, underappreciated intern Mike set up all the competition shit that's just a couple days away, and Chicken fucking Joe, baby, who passed out when Lonnie was saving Cody because he thought about some blood, and when he woke up he couldn't find Cody, so like the good friend he is, he went looking for him, searching high and low in the jungle till he stumbled upon a tribal native penguin population of this island who tried to cook him alive, but he just thought that they made him their leader and gave him a hot tub with some snacks, so he simply got up and walked away to continue with the search. Somehow they didn't stop him with their spears and only caught the camera crew, I don't know how, but anyway, eventually they get him again and he gives them some food that they're so impressed with that they actually make him their leader. So that's what he was doing, remember it, it'll be important for later. Now back to Cody and Z, who will finally agree to teach Cody how to surf, but he insists that the first lessons must be taught out of the water. However, all these so-called lessons are a bunch of messing about, pranking Cody, and just playing around, and Cody be doing all that stuff without any joy till he pranks Z by dragging him out into the ocean while he naps and waking him up right before a wave hits him and he wipes out on an X he made on the beach. An X that should have been gone when Z got up, not only because that's how sand works in real life, but also for movie consistency since they already established that's how sand works in this movie. If you really want to show that Cody got him back the same way he did, you could have simply shown the X before he washed up onto it. Doesn't matter. Cody is finally having fun, which is exactly what Z was trying to get him to do, and he's like, finally you passed, now let's get in the water. They finally hop in there with their boards and Z teaches him how to surf properly. Then Lonnie comes and sees them both surfing in the water. He's really happy and joins in. By the way, wasn't she on her way to give Z some clams yesterday? Why did she not continue? Did she want Cody to have some more alone time with him? Then why not give Cody the clams to take to him? Whatever, unimportant. They'll have a bunch of fun on the water, and apparently Cody feels like he learned enough that day to be ready for the competition, which is tomorrow, and he really wants Z to be there and watch him compete. But Big Z doesn't want to go. Cody's like, why? They argue a bit, and Cody keeps nagging him about why he doesn't want to come back, why is he hiding. So Z tells him what happened the day he disappeared. See, he was going up against Tank, thought he'd win, but then Tank started kicking his ass and surfing circles around him, and he realized he couldn't hang with a new talent anymore, and didn't want to go back to his fans a loser and shit like that, so he just pushed his board off a big wave, faked his own death, and disappeared. Pussy ass move. Sentiment echoed by Cody, who's like, what about never give up and find your own way and all that shit you told me as a kid? Well, giving up is my way now. How about you fuck off and go find yours? He gets the espresso and walks away. Cody gets angry and depresso himself, throws the necklace that he gave him into the ocean, and starts walking over to the other side of the island through the night until in the morning. Right before he gets there, he gets caught in one of them tribal penguin traps. They charge at him, but who shows up to stop them? None other than Chicken Joe, who is not only their leader now but can also speak their language and is able to cut him down just in time for the contest to start. Reg is glad he's back because he's good content, calling him the Wipeout King. No time to cry about it though, because the contest starts right away and everyone hits the water in very treacherous conditions with lots of ginormous tsunami grade waves, which I'm pretty sure is grounds for cancellation or at least postponing this competition. I mean, literally 25% of them didn't make it past the first wave, but what do I know? They get out there. Cody drops in for his first wave and doesn't eat shit. He actually does well with everyone watching, including Z behind some bushes or foliage. Then after everybody else does their shit, the judges judge. The top three are Tank, Chicken Joe, and Cody. But before going off for his final run, Lani throws some shade on him for prioritizing the contest over her and Z. The top three go off for the last time. Joe gets preoccupied with a catito-shaped cloud, so Tank and Cody drop in together. Tank keeps trying to block Cody or ruin his line or run or whatever, but in doing so fumbles big time and Cody does a sick move over him. The judges give him mad props for that. Then Joe does a no look, no paddle, no scope, no hands, ma drop in, does some sick flying chicken moves and ties Cody for points, but Tank is still at 0. So with an announcement that this is all their last wave comes out, they all drop in on the same wave, which I'm fairly sure is bullshit. In actual competitions, everyone gets one wave at a time. Also, this is filmed from the perspective of the cameras and stuff like that, and we sometimes get to see the microphones and shit. Why do we never get to see the cameras filming these replay angles and stuff? Whatever. They all drop in and Tank shifts his focus to fucking with Chicken Joe instead of Cody, who sees that and starts protecting his friend by pushing Tank away from him, who sees them both getting into the boneyard, surfing through the rocks and stuff. Tank pushes Cody overboard and crashes out himself. They both get hit by wave after wave. Lonnie goes in, tries to save them, but is only able to find Tank. Cody's stuck fighting them waves somewhere else, but then Z comes to save him. He's by his old board shrine monument thing, trying to get him out of the water, but a wave building up is sucking him up. So Z tells him to stop paddling, let the wave suck him up and carry him, and time it exactly right so he can land in his sweet embrace. He does that and shoots out of the super mega wave just in time for Z to catch him and hide behind the big rock before the wave hits. They're safe. The wave hits so hard that it dislodged the shrine board out, so they use it to paddle back to shore. From a surprisingly super calm ocean, all of a sudden, wow, it's almost like the script calls for that so they can have a small conversation before paddling back. Anyway, back at shore, Cody's board washes up. Reginald does a little show to the camera to honor the death of someone he never really cared about, then immediately starts auctioning it off. So Z snatches it away from him, revealing himself to the public after many years, saying that he lost his way for a long time, but Cody helped him find it again. Very touching shit that the absolute cockwomble Reggie tries to exploit again and claim that he's such a good surf promoter that he can bring talent back from the dead. But Z's like, would you shut the fuck up, man? No one gives a fuck about your stupid competition.
Hey guys, swell's happening over in the North Shore.
I'm right behind you, Z.
Wait a minute, I thought this was the North Shore. Didn't you point the way to it to Cody in the beginning of the film? Was he leading Cody to his private beach? But at the time he didn't really want to do shit with surfing. And he did say beach, not shore the first time though. Are they different? I don't think that matters. There's only one north of this island. You know what? Who cares? Whatever. Joe wins the whole competition without knowing. Tank is a crybaby loser. Mike rips off Reggie's shite hairdo and quits while everyone collectively ditches him to go have fun on the cooler side of the island. This movie gets 10 penguins out of 8 squidditos.